Hey there, folks. Welcome back to the Overflow. My name is Micah Curtis.
And I'm Alex Baldwin, also known as the Hatman.
And we're in our cars again.
Again. It's a trend. Why not?
Yeah, fuck it. But,
Fuck it. We'll do it in cars.
Yes, exactly. In fact, that's, at some point in the future, that's how we'll do the podcast. We'll just drive down the road. We'll use my cell phone as a mobile hotspot.
We will have the cameras going too, so you get to see just how bad or good of a driver I am.
Yes, exactly.
Hopefully we won't get into any wrecks, because that will be very embarrassing.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Alright. So let's go ahead and get started. See exactly what we got here. Hatman, what should we start off with? Politics or entertainment?
We started off with entertainment last time, didn't we?
I think.
Let's go with politics this time.
Alright.
Do it in order.
So we got some people who want us to talk about flat Earth, because whatever.
Is that a political question?
I don't even know. But,
It almost seems like it should fall under entertainment.
Yeah. That's true. But we'll roll with it. Fuck it. So the Autist Whisperer wants to know, out of these two theories, what would you prefer? Flat Earth or hollow Earth?
Hollow Earth.
I prefer flat Earth just so I can take a boat over the side to go to Davy Jones' locker and save Jack Sparrow.
It reminds me of that one image of the meteor hitting the flat Earth and like catapulting all the dinosaurs off of it. I love that picture so much.
Yeah, flat Earth would be incredibly entertaining, but both are idiotic.
Hollow Earth for me, if only because that means Journey to the Center of the Earth is canon.
Goodness. And CT117 wants to know what we think about the flat Earth conspiracy theory. And he says many flat tards will use the Bible as proof, quote unquote, and claim that NASA and the Freemasons are the Illuminati. Why don't they just throw the Knights Templar in there and get the whole fucking thing rolling?
Oh my fucking god!
And Hatman. They're all meeting under a pizza place in Washington, D.C.
And they... Oh my...
Folks, please don't take a rifle into the pizza place again. Please.
Oh my fucking god. Oh my fucking god. Are they the ones that hacked the election too?
Vladimir Putin, gay frog, confirmed.
Illuminati NASA is hacking our democracy. Oh my god.
We have no evidence to suggest that the Earth is not round or flat, but rather is a cube.
Oh my fucking god.
We are a big fucking Lego brick just floating through space.
Oh my fucking god.
I'd like to think that sums up our thoughts on that.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Oh god. Some people are just fucking weird. God.
Who needs comedy when you have conspiracy theories like that? I
know. Like I get more laughs from conspiracy theories these days than I do like actual comedy movies. It's oh god.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Like at least put some effort into it to make it believable. Don't go NASA, Illuminati wrote the Bible. Like no, just come on, man.
I just like the Freemasons especially. I'm like, really, guys? The like it's not hard to become a Freemason. You literally have to just know a guy who's in the group and then get an invitation. That is it.
It's not difficult.
No, it's not really like some governmental secret society. It's just a bunch of dudes.
Yeah, it's dudes who hang out and occasionally do community service.
Basically.
That's about it.
the big benefit you get from being a Freemason is usually a bunch of business connections.
Yeah. Oh, yes, exactly.
Because that is one thing that is a commonality. Is there are usually, or at least here in the Midwest, I've met a lot of guys who are Freemasons that were like big business owners in the cities that I lived in. So
yeah, one of my buddies is a Mason, and he gets discounts at some fairly surprising places, actually, at least in this area, including free cigars. So that was interesting.
Note to self: join the Freemasons. And heck, what do you know? Next thing you know, Micah Curtis and Alex Baldwin, president and vice president. Then we will control the world.
Micah and the Hatman, we're going all the way to the White House.
We'd still do the podcast.
We would still do the podcast, yes.
Yeah, we just got out of a meeting with the UN, and we mooned all of them, so we're not that big on diplomacy here.
It's like, you guys know how we feel about the UN, so you know that we think they're totally full of shit here. But
we just wanted to come in here and give our yearly speech, but we're just gonna sum it up to fuck all of you, but especially you fuck sticks in the Middle East with Sharia law.
No, it'd be like that one strong bad email. Screw all y'all.
I would walk in with a strong bad mask and boxing gloves. So in front of the UN today, I just want to say, you're all a bunch of stupid faces. Looks like I'll have to jump. And then I go out the window into a helicopter, just waiting for me.
Oh my
God! The
guy
piloting it, wondering why he's in a Captain America uniform.
Air Force One gets renamed Dangerous One.
Yes. Oh God.
We have fun here.
Yes, we would. I would. I'd try to get invited to a GLAD assembly. You know, I would take a car battery.
Oh my God!
Put a label on it to say I stole it from Mike Pence's garage.
Why do that when you can go in there dressed up as Raiden?
That's true. We're just starting to put an electric fence around the island of Manhattan.
Oh my God! Isn't that how Escape from New York starts?
Okay, fuck it. I do it around San Francisco instead. I don't think anybody argue with me there.
Nope. No arguments here.
Oh, jeez.
Holy shit.
Is there anyone in the government who we think should be fired from a click 1995?
In the federal government or Congress?
I'm guessing the Fed. I would go with, if anybody, everyone in the IRS. Fuck all of them. Or anybody who was hired during the Obama years. Just gone. Get rid of all of them. Just clean sweep. Just fuck all of them. Out.
I think most of them that I had problems with have been fired already. You know how I feel about Betsy DeVos. I'm trying to think of like anyone else who would be worse than her that I have names for, but nothing's coming immediately to mind. If I had to say, if we're talking about like Congress, yeah, I can think of a few. Cough, cough, Nancy Pelosi. Cough, cough, Dianne Feinstein.
Yeah.
Although I think both of them are going to get primaried out.
Really? I don't see that happening.
Supposedly the Democratic Party is not eager to rally behind Nancy Pelosi this time. And I don't remember if this was confirmed or not, but Dianne Feinstein's not getting party support from California.
Huh. That is surprising. We'll have to see what happens there.
Yeah, be very interesting if they got primaried out, to say the least.
All right, Brian Gilmartin wants to know: do we think the Silicon Valley tech monopoly of Google, Facebook, and the like will need to be broken up by the government in the same way as oil?
Yes.
I disagree. I've always been of the opinion that it only takes one mistake to open up for more competition to come in, and mistakes in time. And given enough time, people will make mistakes. I think that recently we've been seeing Facebook's numbers really go down because of that controversy about the app like storing all of your phone calls and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think that that's going to be a necessity. Again, the problem that they are facing is that they have chosen ideology over customers, and as such, because that was not the attitude that made them big. It was the opposite attitude. So
Right.
they will have to, at this point, they're going to have to sink or swim because they're running into problems.
Right.
So if they had continued to grow, maybe, but I don't know. I am not. I don't really think so.
I disagree, because I think we've already seen them make those mistakes, and people aren't willing to stick to their guns and leave the platforms. And part of the reason why is because there are no viable platforms to go to. Like Facebook, I don't know that many Facebook competitors now. Like Elo, I think exists, but I believe you still have to be invited in just to get into that. And that's more of like an artsy type social network anyway. Twitter, yeah, we got Gab, but
Gavin Mines.
they are, yes, but they are conspiring, the monopoly, well, I would call them monopolies, I don't give a fuck, are pretty much conspiring to at least make Gab pretty much unfindable. Like banned from the Google Play Store, banned off of the App Store for Apple. Like that's something's not right there. And of course, Twitter won't let him run ads, although I can kind of understand that, because you wouldn't run ads for a competitor's platform on your own.
No,
let's just be real. That's understandable. It's only a matter of time, I think, before the Gab account on Twitter actually gets banned.
Well, they already have been once.
Yeah, well, perma-banned, really. And YouTube, we saw VidMe fall. Nobody uses Dailymotion. That's just how it is. And I think the problem is everyone uses those platforms anyway. They are the go-tos, so nobody wants to leave them. So if you want your content to be seen by an audience, you're going to have to put it on YouTube. You can't go anywhere else. If you want your opinions to be heard by anybody, you have to use Twitter. Businesses even pretty much have to use Facebook nowadays. Like that's just how it is. So yeah, I think there is effectively a monopoly here. The time for competition came and went. These are the ones that are on top. And now if any competitors come up, they get crushed almost instantly. They can't fight it.
Like we've discussed this before, and I think that the key to competing in this market is it has to be a slow burn. You're gonna slowly but surely take people away. It's just you have to make sure you're not overextending yourself. That was where VidMe fucked up. There is a YouTube alternative that I hear is doing fairly well, but is still kind of under the radar. And it's called DTube. It's a offshoot of Steemit, STEMIT. It's a cryptocurrency based monetary system as well. So basically, and they're sort of doing the same thing. Is that they are a free speech platform. And I haven't put anything up there yet, but I'm considering it. Once I take a bit of time to work on this style change whenever I get home, because For those of you who missed it, I said on Twitter recently that I'm going to be taking a break from doing regular YouTube videos, which is going to, like, is basically me twisting my own arm because I enjoy doing it. It's just, stylistically, I have really fallen behind my peers. And I don't really feel like I have a style of my own. So I want to kind of develop something for the vlogs and develop something for the stuff on the main channel that feels a lot more distinctive, feels a lot better. So, anyway.
But we're still doing podcasts, by the way.
Yeah, still podcasts,
there's no change
still
there.
Overflow. Yeah, and because this is my favorite part of the week. You know.
Oh yes.
It's considerably more fun. We're both looking forward to getting into you know, having our own studio in North Carolina and in an apartment that we'd be sharing as well. So, and then hopefully we'd be able to even get people who, if they're coming through the state, stop by and visit, and then get them live on the podcast with us. Regardless, though, after that style change, I think that I might start putting our content up there and see how it goes. Because, like I said, it seems like they're much more open to the market. Whereas YouTube, I contacted them today because I got confirmation from Diversity in Comics. He says, dude, YouTube keeps unsubscribing me from you. And I'm like, what? And then other people, I looked through my comments through the ones that weren't like super upvoted, and people are saying like, I haven't gotten a notification about one of your videos in months. So I emailed YouTube through creator support, and they're like, oh, it's a known issue. We'll be looking into your channel to try to see what we can do to possibly fix it. In the meantime, have people do X, which, to all of you watching, on this channel and the other one, hit that freaking bell so you're getting notified of everything, and hopefully that'll work in the meantime.
Yeah.
But,
yeah,
like,
because recently YouTube did that thing.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
They did that thing where they said, yeah, if you ring the bell, then you're going to get all the subscription notifications. But if you are only a subscriber, you only get some notifications, which means about as much as you interact with the channel. And interaction isn't just watching the videos. It means like actually posting comments and stuff too, which is ridiculous because it's like you subscribe to the channel because you want to see all the videos in your sub box, but you don't get all the videos in the sub box because they think you're not super subscribed to it or subscribed enough, which means hitting the bell, which is just pants on head retarded.
Yeah, exactly. So it kind of puts it puts a smaller channel like ours just at a disadvantage, because even if I do a social post that is supposed to go to all the subscribers saying hit the bell, it still might not hit all of them. So I'm fucked one way or another. So it's a shitty situation to be in. But this DTube seems to be much more creator oriented. They're not looking to, put you into, they're not worried about fucking clips from Conan O'Brien. They want everybody to be able to put videos up. So, because they understand the basics of it. If you put more videos up and those channels grow, you make more advertising revenue. YouTube is so panicked about the alt-right and all that nonsense. It's like they don't take the time to actually, and then they just, now that they've associated anybody with right-wing beliefs as alt-right. So, I mean, I've got an issue.
Thank your media for that.
Yeah, and basically. And I've got another issue going on with them where they remonetized my Jessica Jones video. They approved it for monetization. Then they took the ads off of it without ever emailing me.
What?
Yeah, and they're saying that basically it's that I was denied in the first place. So I emailed them. I'm like, no, you never denied me. I said, I want to know exactly what I put in this video that is offensive. Because it's probably because I made jokes about feminism. In which case, that's fucking ridiculous. So, anyway. But this is the problem. It's like every dissenting opinion on YouTube seems to be, they're just not going to let you make money off of it. It's like, why the fuck not? It doesn't. It's like your business is not going anywhere if a guy you don't agree with gets elected. Give me a break. All right. Final question from Nox the Last. He wants to know what our thoughts on the Twitter girl Violet Zero, what she tweeted about the Palestine-Israel thing that happened recently. She said something to the effect of, and I responded to this, says, The fact that Israel exists is immoral, so no, Israel has no moral ground here. Now, I didn't really look too into what exactly she was talking about.
I tend to write off stuff like that as anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
Personal thing, but just based on the types of comments that I see surrounding that, I can't help but shake that belief.
Yeah, according to what I'm reading here, there was a protest from Palestinian youths, and it got out of control. They were asked to step back away from some frontier that Israeli soldiers were at, and
IMF opened fire.
Yeah, they opened fire because they started charging them.
Yeah.
It's like, so you charged people in a military. How stupid are you? Mm-hmm. But yeah, she said that because Israel exists as immoral, no, Israel has no moral ground. I'm like, hey everybody, it's Richard Spencer's alt account.
Mm.
That's the sort of shit he would say.
Certainly sounds like it.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. When it comes to it comes to Israel, people out there will lie through their fucking teeth to make Israel the bad guy, despite the fact that they are surrounded by nations that if they had their way would kill every single person in that country who is not Muslim.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Israeli definition of peace is every other nation around them lays down their arms and stops attacking. The definition of peace of every other nation around them is no more Jews on earth. A Judenrein world.
What was it Ahmadinejad said? Israel should be wiped off the face of the earth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, fuck her. She's stupid.
Yeah. It's immoral for Israel to exist. Like that does not sit well. That's about equivalent of saying it's an illegal occupation.
Yeah.
Like
that's the usual Kyle Kalinske thing.
Yeah, no. Fuck that shit. And I'm sticking with it. I think that's rooted in anti-Semitism, to be perfectly honest.
Oh, absolutely. I agree completely. All right, let's move on to entertainment.
All right, fun stuff.
Crystal Wing 2149 wants to know if Carnage is the villain in the Venom movie. It doesn't look like it. From everything I've seen, the Life Foundation are the bad guys here.
I'm about to say, do we even know who the main bad guy is?
That's really all they've hinted. From what I could gather from the teaser, it works out like this. A spaceship crashes outside of San Francisco, and they find the symbiote in it. Eddie Brock is a reporter that's already been looking into some shady shit the Life Foundation has already been doing. He infiltrates the facility to get answers, finds the symbiote. They start experimenting on him. At some point, they assume that the symbiote is capable of duplicating the abilities of superhumans, and somehow they find a way to introduce Spider-Man's DNA to it. From there, Venom becomes Venom and goes on a roaring rampage of revenge against the Life Foundation. And then at the end of it, he's killed them all, but he gets arrested, and then chances are he'll probably meet Cletus Cassidy at the end of the film. That's what I am thinking. I think that Carnage is not a villain that they would want to waste on the first film. I think they want to reintroduce Venom and do him right. Because you got to keep in mind that there are a couple things writing on this for Fox. First, not Fox, Sony. First is that when they at some point they want to sell back the Spider-Man distribution rights and the distribution rights to all those characters back to Marvel and have them integrate to the MCU, because they could sell at a high price if this movie is successful. You know, they've already done. Them and Marvel did well together with Homecoming, but they have to prove that they can do their own thing. And apparently, from what I have heard, Amy Pascal was apparently very hard to work with. So,
well, no shit.
Yeah, like that's sort of like been the story of her just for ages now.
Yeah, if you paid attention to the hacked emails, yeah, she is difficult.
Yeah. So, I think that the higher ups at Sony know that they've got to pull out some really good work with this, or else their business model is failing. They're not pulling in good money. You know, Ghostbusters might have killed them. Just at the end of the day, it might have killed them. So, because they were banking pretty heavily on that film. So
that's what happens when you put all your eggs in the feminist basket.
Exactly, and the way it goes is this: if this film is a success, they can sell those rights back to Marvel at a high price, and if they can do that, then from there on, they're selling Marvel a film series that the sequel would have a ton of eyes on it because Carnage is a very popular villain.
Mm-hmm.
So it puts them in a very good negotiating place. And if Marvel doesn't bite, they can still do some wonders with it anyway and still make much more money. But
this is implying that Marvel just wouldn't jump at the thought of it.
Yeah.
I'm fairly certain that they absolutely would.
Yeah. Well, I would be of the thought that in one of the Spider-Man Homecoming sequels they want Venom in there.
Mm.
So, and that leads us to another question that's Venom oriented. Monkey Lint wanted to know, how can they have a Venom origin story without an adult Peter Parker to seek revenge against? And that's here's what that fits into what I'm thinking. I think they're gonna skip the whole villain phase of Venom. I honestly think they are, and I think that
they're gonna go full anti-hero.
I think they're gonna go anti-hero right out of the gate.
Interesting.
And I think that the clashes with Spider-Man in the future will be over the fact that Venom kills.
Sort of like a Daredevil Punisher dichotomy there.
Yeah, basically, which is sort of what the Venom Spider-Man dichotomy is right now. Mm-hmm. You know, like that's sort of one thing that's happened in Mike Costa's run on the book, is that he is at odds with the Spider family. You know, Spider-Man, Spider-Woman, the new anti-Venom, which is now Flash Thompson. Like he's sort of a loose ally of theirs now, as opposed to a villain. So right now, it would fit where they're at in the comics. He's an anti-hero. You know, everybody realizes where he's at. He's trying to do better. He's killing less than he used to. You know, like that in and of itself is crazy enough. So he's trying not to be a monster anymore, just a guy who looks like one. So that's my thoughts on that. The Autist Whisperer wants to know, can the next Things I Love video be on my favorite game, Planescape Torment? Well, let me say this. First off, Planescape is actually not my favorite game of all time. It's my favorite RPG, though. I know it's semantics, but I don't know if I have a favorite game of all time. I don't know what it would be. Maybe not really Dark Souls. Dark Souls is an RPG. I don't even know. Yeah, I can't even think of what my favorite game is. I could probably make a top 10 list very easily, but I couldn't pick one over the others. That would be a little tough. Like, if I had a favorite video game of all time, it would probably be either Gears of War 3 or Mega Man X. Or Super Castlevania 4. See, I'm going through that already. But I will definitely consider that being the video I return with when it comes to YouTube vids. The big thing for me is just back on that subject, what I really want to do is I want to change the outro and the intro, because the intro is this like heavy metal infused mosh pit, and then there's a bunch of medieval stuff. So I gotta figure out what to do there. So hopefully, I'm gonna figure out something with that intro. But anyway, yeah, I'd love to do it. I mean, but I want to replay it to refresh my memory on a bunch of shit. I haven't actually played through Planescape in like 4 years. So, good thing is I think I have it on my laptop here. Let me check. So, if I do, I could probably play it the last couple nights here. I'm here in Arkansas, like bit by bit, if I can control it well enough with the mouse scroller that I have on the laptop. If not, I'd have to bring my my USB mouse from my hotel room with me. Let's see here. But yeah, definitely. What are my thoughts on? Well, have you played Neo at all?
No, I have not.
Okay, so this is basically me again. What are my thoughts on Neo? Well, I've been playing it, and I enjoy it. It's Samurai Dark Souls, for better or worse. But yeah, it's enjoyable. Oh, and I do have Planescape Torment on here. Cool. But yeah, it's a fun game. It's very hard. The combat takes some getting used to, because the way you renew your stamina is kind of unique. But yeah, I like it. Do I like it as much as Dark Souls? No, I don't like the mission-based structure as much as I like the open-ended feel of Dark Souls. Because Dark Souls, it really feels like you're trudging through this castle and wastelands and all this other stuff with a singular goal, and it really makes you feel like you're on this big grandiose journey. I don't think Neo's going for that, which is fine, but I prefer that sort of a journey feel to it. So yeah. And last question from the almighty Lolly. Jeez. Do we have any underrated YouTubers that we would like to recommend? Mine that I would recommend would be the Distributist, who I am still trying to get together with to have a discussion about atheism and religion stuff, and Fritz Imperial. And Fritz is actually a guy I don't agree with on some things, especially government, because he's a monarchist. But I like Fritz. I think he's a good dude, and apparently Aiden's going to try to get me in touch with him at some point. So, because he is a smart guy, and I like talking with smart people. Iron sharpens iron and whatnot. So that's my picks, Hatman. What about you?
Underrated? I don't really know. I don't usually go into the whole underrated stuff, to be perfectly honest with you.
I think Hatman's like me. He doesn't watch as much. He doesn't watch that much YouTube.
Yeah, I'm kind of that, and also like my tastes are weird because like it's a assortment of like video game stuff, political stuff, and then like Magic the Gathering stuff. And I'm pretty sure that any of you guys that play Magic, you know who to follow and who not to follow now. So, I will say this: I don't think he's really underrated. He's really starting to get known now. Star Wars exclusive guy, Hello Greedo. I love his stuff. Even though he's of the opinion that Rey is not a Mary Sue and The Last Jedi was a good movie, if you can get beyond that, because I know a lot of you hold very strong opinions about those things, he's a good guy, and I really enjoy his content. But again, Star Wars only, so you have to be really into that.
Well, there we go. Well, that is all the questions for this week.
Good Lord, that's it?
Yeah, that is it. I'm kind of surprised.
about to say, last week was like an hour, and this is, what, half that?
Yeah, about half that. But last week I had gone on a couple of rants. And to be fair,
Yeah,
I was also tired. So like when I get tired, I rant more. This week, I've been very bad this trip out with my health. Not to mention I was catching up on bills, so I didn't get to save as much money as I would have liked. Though granted, I finally got a PS4. I got a Pro. I got it like for the same price as like a normal PlayStation 4. So I'm like, oh cool. So somebody sent me a deal. I couldn't not snatch it up, but I'll still be able to save like close to $1,000, I think, for the trip out. And the goal is to save like 5. But I've been kind of bad like health wise. Like I've been eating a lot of junk food. I haven't been working out, and I put weight on. It's probably mostly water weight, so I'll be able to shed it pretty quickly. But still, it's like ugh. So yeah, for this trip, there's been like some bad headaches and stuff. But I worked out yesterday. I feel fucking phenomenal today. So that's a plus. But anywho, so that's why there weren't as many rants today. That's for sure. Not to mention there wasn't a lot of serious questions, but it's nice to have one of these that'll make people laugh. So,
yes.
I hope people enjoyed us laughing at flat earthers. All right. Well, we appreciate you guys. And don't forget, we are still going to be doing the Overflow. We'll still be doing the podcasts. And honestly, if you folks have any suggestions for how I should redo the intro and outro for the channel, let me know. I would be more than happy to try to figure some stuff out. But I'm going to take a few weeks. I'm going to delve into some tricks with Vegas and see what I can learn and stuff like that. So we will go from there. And I'm really looking forward to it because I've got some ideas already that will still be pretty cool. So we'll see what happens. But Hatman, have any final words?
Yeah, I guess. Kids are so dumb.
Very. I would agree with that. Very will be my final word. All right, folks. We appreciate you. Next week for the podcast, I should be home. Should be. Unless they send me back out again. So I look forward to being back in my studio. I look forward to hopefully decorating it with posters with the little money I saved for spending money. So that's going to be pretty cool. So, with all that said, my name is Micah Curtis.
And I'm Alex Baldwin, also known as the Hat Man.
And we'll see you guys next week. Deus Volt.
Deus Volt.